Hey guys, welcome back to another LEGO train mock video. So today, I have this LEGO Union Pacific BigBoy steam locomotive mock. Now, some things about this thing. It was built between July 27th and September 16th this year, at a total of 51 days of construction, but a lot of that was waiting, so 16 days were real construction. And the construction was across 3 months. And it was originally going to be motorized. You guys saw the videos of the testing. But that kind of didn't work. And it was going extremely slow, and I don't know anything about LEGO motors. And I'm probably not going to be motorizing this. Although I know there are some motorized LEGO BigBoy steam locomotives. But this thing is 40.5 inches long, 4.5 inches wide, and 6 inches tall. And I decided to make a video about this thing in October since the real 4010 was constructed between September through October of 1941 and scrapped in June 1963, which I believe is the BigBoy that had the longest lifespan. Now I have no idea what the part count on this thing is or the weight, and I did this all with no instructions. But I do have plans for a few different modifications, or I guess 4 in the future, probably when it starts to snow, which is the Galaxy Railways Big One version 1 and 2, or just 2 different versions, an armored version probably, and one with smoke deflectors, as well as maybe my own modifications, so that's probably adds up to 5. But I guess we should start looking at the actual locomotive itself. So at the front, we have the bell, the number boards, and the marker lights, that little railing there, the pilot. This part is a little small, and these are a little far apart. Here you can see the air compressors here, as well as the smoke box door hinge, and then the builder's plate, Alco 1941, American Locomotive Company. You got the little valve and the whistle and the funnels. And real quick, I did have to modify a LEGO piece that came with the tracks originally, those things that go here, just so that I could be able to have that there. So if LEGO were to make this whole thing a set, it'd have to make a new part for it. Probably. And then it's just got all the detail down here. Of course, making it as accurate as I can with Legos. And the valve gear isn't 100% accurate, but it looks the part on both parts. You got the firebox, and back here with the trailing wheels. And the drive wheels do look a bit small, but I only used the official LEGO parts. And then this was my technique for the LEGO sand domes. Then you got these. And this reuses part of the boiler technique from my Federer Challenger, as you can see. But on this part, I just widened it by a stud. And then that is connected to there. And this uses the sort of sideways building technique. And there's 2 people in a fully detailed cab. And it's got these. And it also has these, which are along the real thing. It even has that little, like, tapered down part, as you can see. I think this one has the best boiler technique out of any of my models. And then going on to this side of the tender, you can see the connection down there. So that's a little bit more detailed than usual. It's got the ladder, whatever these things are, and these ladders too. And then this part, which was a little difficult to design. And then the ladder that extends all the way up, with those spots where the water goes in, and I'm assuming this is a toolbox. And a bunch of coal of 3 different sizes, which goes down to like here. And of course the lettering. And the back of the tender looks like that. And it did used to have a metal coupler, but instead I switched it out for a Technic one because it's stronger. And before I show you guys the other side and the other parts of the locomotive, I will show that it does indeed run standard Lego curves, which I must admit looks very strange. But it does work. And it does run switches as well. I forgot to set the points. But eventually, if you go very slow, it will work with them. The tender too. And when it's like that, you can see that is not good looking when, in terms of how real trains work. And that just swings way out. But I do get to show you these little pipes here that are under the boiler that would usually run to here, I'm pretty sure. Do move with it as well. Whoops. If you can see it. But they do work with it. Which is probably one of the best parts of this model. Real quick, I'll just do a size comparison of things. Here's it to a boxcar, the one that it's supposed to connect to. It to my smallest current locomotive. It compared to my smallest rail vehicle. Compared to a normal road vehicle. And compared to a Lego minifigure. And again, real quick, I did build these a little bit after I built this, but you can see the vision of this thing with smoke deflectors, like 4014 IRL currently. And then here's the other side of the big boy. Basically, the tender looks the same. And here's under the cab. It's got those little red valves. Then it's got that little extra part where the valve gear is. And then on this side, it has the reverser gear as well. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And then these pipes. And then that goes to the and there's also these little things that represent brakes. And then I'm pretty sure this is like exhaust or something, or the brakes maybe. But it's also right there and there. And then here's what it looks like separated. And if I can, we can see inside the cab. But there's a lot of controls in there, including the water glass. And also real quick, here's what the underside of the tender looks like. And here's how much coal is used. You get the 3 different sizes as well. 1x1s, 1x2s, and this double tall brick. With these ones going at the bottom, these ones going in the middle, and of course the smallest ones at the top. And here is the tender without the coal. You can see that slope there. And I'm not sure if it's better to have that removed or not. Or that. Layer 1 has the least amount of coal, with I'm pretty sure layer 2 having the most. That's what it looks like with the layer 2 in there. And then layer 3 is just more or less just sprinkled along the top. And probably one last thing is, on this model, the rear set of, well, both sets of driving wheels pivot, but the rear one is, like, the Lego bricks have enough clutch power to stay with it, like on the rail things, whereas the front set of driving wheels in the Pilot just comes right off. Now, one thing about this model that I did kind of forget is the boiler does slightly taper, I think, inwards. You can see that.
And now some quick photos from during the construction.
But I think that's pretty much gonna do it for today's video. And also, I'm pretty sure this is the most accurate you can make a Lego Union Pacific BigBoy locomotive mock. I'm not quite sure what the next video will be, but I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye.